Hello friends, Cheryl here with Inked Pulp, and I've got another fun video. This is a project that a friend of mine, oh gosh, it's been about a year now, at least a year, maybe more, since she made this. And as soon as I saw it, I said, oh, I have to do a video on one of those. And then I just never did it. So I pulled out her video, rewatched it, and here I am. I made a prototype, and then we'll go through and make one. The friend that posted this was Crafty Shamrock. So I will put a link to her channel and the video where she did her project. They're very similar. Although in the decorating, of course, you can, do different things. But I'll leave that link in the description so you can go take a look at her video if you would like. All right, let's get started. Hey, if you like this video as we're going through, please give it a thumbs up. That would be wonderful. And I'd love to have you as a subscriber if you're not already. All right, my friend Crafty Shamrock, she calls this a flip out pocket tag booklet. That's a mouthful. So let's take a look at what it is. I've got it closed with some seam binding. And what it is a little flip out pocket tag. It's got 4 little tags in it. Now these tags I have in here, I did not decorate new tags. These are actually old gift tags from Christmas that just kind of fit. And so I just wanted to show what they would look like in there. These are not the final tags that I would put in there. But on this page, we have our ladies. Oh, excuse me. Our ladies in blue. I don't know where that yawn came from. Our ladies in blue. And then this folds up. And on the back page, we've got more ladies in blue, but these are just the ladies. They're not full. These are actually stickers. Okay. So this is what we're going to make today. And I'll give you all the measurements and how to make it. All right. First, we're going to start with a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. Doesn't matter what it is. You can make it whatever you want. And then I'm going to fold it up in half long way. So fold the 11.5 edge. And so you end up with 4 1/4 by 11. Okay. Then we're going to score this, and I'm going to turn it a little bit sideways because that's how my hand works. And we're going to score at 3 inches. So be sure you write these measurements down. We're going to score at 3 inches, at 6 inches. Oops, come on. I'm getting there's something in my board. Let's see, 3 inches and 6 inches. And then the last one is at 8 3/4. So they're not spaced exactly the same, but that's where we're at. Okay. And then we're going to fold it on the score lines. Actually, I probably need, well, I've got my other tool here. So I'm going to start at the small end down here. You can use a bone folder. I happen to have this little scraper tool. So there's our base. Now we're going to open this up. Well, no, we're going to open it because this is the way it's going to be. Hang on, let me look at something. I made this once, but I got to make sure that I'm doing it right. Okay, we are going to go down on the very last panel. We're going to go down 1 inch. Let me turn it this way and let me get a pencil. Let me put this, I'll go way down here and put this at. Actually, it needs to go this way. We're going to go to 1 inch. And 1 inch. So we're going to go down 1 inch. Then on the next panel over, we're going to go 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch. Now, the other 2 panels, we're not going to cut down at all. So this is the last one. See, our fold is here. So we got the fold at the bottom. This is our last panel, our second to last, and then these 2 are going to stay just like they are. And then what we're going to do is find a ruler. We're going to cut these down. There's the 1/2 inch. And there's the 1 inch. All right. Now we're going to cut the tops. So we're going to cut down the fold. And then we're going to cut down the fold. And then cut across. Okay. So we have 2 panels are the regular size, and then we've got 1 down 1/2 inch and 1 down 1 inch. Okay, let's save those scraps. Second here, I have my instructions all written out so I don't miss a step. Okay, then we're going to open this up and we're going to punch. So this is going to be the top of where our pockets are. And so we're going to punch the thumb holes. That's my corner rounder. Silly girl. And I'm only going to punch it in the front. Now, you can measure this if you want to measure the exact center. I pretty much just eyeball it. I look at how much space is on either side of the hole punch, and I just kind of eyeball it to make sure it's about the same. So we'll put a thumb hole in each one. There we go. All right, so now each pocket has a thumb hole. Now we're going to round all of the corners. Every square corner that we have, we're going to round it off. This corner rounder is real hard to push down. I don't know what I did. I'm still cleaning my, I've got actually quite a bit done. I'm still cleaning my craft room, and I need to find my other one. Okay, so on this one, we're going to fold it over and put it in that way so we can, and then this one, same thing. All right, so now we've got all of the corners rounded, top and bottom. So I don't have any pointy corners. All right, the next thing we need to do is find my, and I'm looking for a spare piece of paper. We're gonna ink this guy up all the way around. Now you can use one of these if you want. I think this is a little faster, is the only reason I'm doing this. And I think I might use a walnut stain instead of vintage photo. Let's make it just a little bit darker. Walnut stain, there we go. All right, this is going to take me a minute to go all the way around because I have to go all the way around here, all the way around the bottom, and then we've got to do the lines, and then I've got to do the backs, well, at least the tops here. So I'm going to pause this for just a moment and go off and do my inking so I don't bore you to death, and then I'll come back when we're all inked up. All right, here we go, all inked up. See, I've got all the creases inked up. I didn't ink up all the creases inside because you won't see those. They'll be covered up. So we're going to go like this. Now we're going to glue it together. So we're going to take just a little bit of art glitter glue, and I wouldn't recommend putting too much on. I just used this not 15 minutes ago, and now it wants to be all clogged up on me. Well, come on. This is the most finicky glue, and I see everybody fights with it. Sure is good, but it sure is finicky. All right, so we're just gonna go down the edges here. You don't need a whole lot. And then we're gonna go right down the crease here. And there's really no need to go along the bottom. You can if you want, but you certainly don't have to do that because once you fold it, it's gonna take care of that bottom piece. So I try to do this as straight as possible because when we go to put tags in the pockets, you don't want the glue taking up too much space on the sides. Then your tag might not fit. All right, so there we go. Got glue on all the lines there, and I did go around the corner here a little bit and a little bit here. And then and if you see any spots that you need a little more glue, well then just put a little more glue on them. All right. Whoops. And remember, that is wet. It's got wet glue under there, so don't want to press too hard. All right. All right. Now we've got it glued together. And it is ready to start decorating. And get this pin in this little hole here. There we go. All right, so we're going to fold it up. Fold it up. And you see it's a little bit shorter, so it's going to fold nicely. And the reason that you didn't cut these first two is because when you fold it up, it makes a full booklet. If we had cut it down a little, then one side would be shorter. So this makes it into an actual booklet. Okay? So now let's take a look at what I picked to decorate with. And I think I have these flowers from Mermaid Small Arts. And I think that, let's put that one there, and then that little one there. Okay, so these are going to go on like this, and this will get cut off just a little bit on the edge. And we'll have flowers on the background. Now, once again, I do need to ink all this up. And so I will put us on a quick pause. I'll ink it up, and then we'll be back. We'll glue everything down, and we'll move on to the back side. So I'll be back. Couple seconds for you. All right. Everything is all inked up. Let's start putting stuff down. I'll start with the little one. And I'm using a smaller glue stick. I didn't get my great big fat Doris one out because these images are small. And I was afraid that great big old glue stick would just tear the images. All right. Right. Now, this one is very delicate. I've already torn it once and put it back together. And yes, I fussy cut all these little leaves out. It's kind of a pain, but it's better than leaving all that white. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's see. Let's go up here. And where did my tweezers go? No, I had them out here. Well, we'll just get another pair. I have a leaf here who's kind of tucking under a bit, and I want it to... I don't want them to overlap. That one overlaps a little. That's okay. All right. And I've got a little piece here that didn't glue down, just the little tips of the flowers. All right. All right, there's that one. Now we'll put this one. Now this one doesn't have a stem on it, so it's a little bit different, but that's okay. Let's see, which way do we want this? Do we want it that way? Or that way? I think it looks best this way. All right. It took me a while to recognize and understand that you don't have to push down with all your might on these things. The point is just to, glide it over so they stay down. Isn't that pretty? These are from the Mermaid Small Arts floral book. And the flowers are just so vivid and colorful. I love them. All right, let's put the last one on. Okay. just gonna snip off that little bit. And so there's the back side. I love it. You guys love it? Now, on the front side, I have these papers. And what I was thinking is that I would tear the edges, just like I did on those girls on the first one, like I did on these. Those edges are all torn. So what I'm going to do, nope, I need to bring it in a little bit more. If I'm going to get that whole butterfly on there. Oops. Okay. So there's that. Don't need to cut a lot off the top. Just need to give it a torn edge. And then at the bottom, so I just sort of measure. I don't, I'm not doing a, put the ruler down, measure kind of thing. I am putting this on here and just looking at, like, I want this one to have a little bit of extra. Oh, let's just do it a little hair off of the wing. But when the piece is longer, I just fold it a little bit. Okay, and that one will go there. And that's pretty. And then on the next panel, I have a goldfish. And again, I don't want to take a whole lot off the top, because the more I take off the top, the farther up it pushes that image. And I don't necessarily want it. Let's see here. About right there. Okay. Now I want to get the majority of the fish. So I'm going to, just in order to get the cut edge, I'm going to cut it really, really close here, because the fish is kind of close to the edge of this page. So I'm not going to take off much. There we go. And then we'll look at how much we need to do on this side. So we are going to lose some of those flowers. And what I've done with these pieces that I'm cutting off, I just had the girls that we did. There's the goldfish or the koi fish, whatever it is. I'm keeping these scraps because I think they will make a great collage bits. Okay. And I know we want just a tiny bit off the bottom because we have this old car here. And I don't want to lose that car. So I'm going to put this down here. Mark it there. And then mark it right there. All right, that's a pretty piece for a collage. So that then there goes there, the old car. And then the final piece is these little macarons with the flowers. And I do want these to go pretty close to the top. Let me go this way. It's easier to tear for me, pulling it towards myself. Okay. So on the sides, okay, on the sides, I want to go there. And there. It's a pretty small pocket. All right, so let's, and again, I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not measuring it because I don't like to measure. Okay. And let's go right here. All right. And look at all these wonderful little bits that we have for collage, and with all these great flowers in them. Won't that be wonderful? I love it. All right, so we've got the car there. We've got the fish here. And we've got the butterfly. So that's going to be the inside. All right, folks, I'm going to once again give you a pause while I go off and ink these up, and then I'll glue them down, and then we'll come back. All right, here we are. Look at, isn't that gorgeous? And then we have the beautiful flowers on the backside. I thought about I have some tissue paper. I have this tissue paper that has like newsprint on it. And I thought about putting this down underneath the flowers, but I mean, you could do so many different things on here. You could put gold splatters on that. In fact, maybe we'll do that. On this side, this could use splatters too, but on this side, we're going to put words. And what I want to find are words that, like this one right here, that says celebrate life. Okay, and I chose this color because it's a good contrast and I can't get it on straight. Here's where my challenge is. And it's still not straight. Doggone it. Now probably all the sticky is off of it, and I'm going to have to put some sticky on it. But there's Celebrate Life. How about, see if I can get that one. There we go. Dream Big. How about Follow Your Passion? And I'm going to cut off, actually, this is more pink than brown. I want to get, oh, here we go. We're going to do Choose Happiness. And I'm going to cut this a little bit because it's got a little bit of a white strip. And I'm not inking the edges on these because they're sticky on the back side. And I don't know, I just don't think they need it. So I am choosing not to. Now, you could put you could do anything you wanted to here. Like you could put down some, Let's see if I have any cheesecloth or string like underneath these words. Let's see what else we have. How about persist with grace? I like that sentiment. I'm actually going to cut this off. And we'll put this right here, if I can get it on straight. There we go. So now we've got some words on there. Now I'm not going to do the tags inside. I could pull them out of the other one and put them in there to show you, but you just make tags that fit. And what you want to do when you put the tags in, you want to put them in so they're not sticking too far up. You just want them barely up. And you could put a tag topper on there, but you don't want them sticking way out. I think that defeats the purpose. So kind of push them down as far as they'll go so they're barely sticking up. So when you're making your tags, you could start with one longer and then just, measure it here. This one's about the right length. Just measure it. And this one's a little too short, but anyway, just make your tags and then decorate your tags however you want them. All right, let's look at this side. How about I was playing with these mica sprays earlier. And I'm wondering, what if we... There we go. Put some of those mica sprays on there. So there's a couple with blue. Here's the peach. And if you're not feeling confident that you can splash this on here and not, get it over on the other panel, just cover those up. There we go. And then on this one, I think I'll put I think I'll put the peach again. So we have 2 peach and 2 blue. I'm not putting a ton of them on the flower itself, a couple splashes on there, but mostly on the paper. How come we're not getting some splatters here? Have I lost my touch? Now, these are still a little bit wet, so you see the paper looks a little bit wet. They will dry, and when they dry, they'll just be shimmery. There we go. All right. All right, so that's got a few shimmers on it. Let me dry it real quick so we can see what it looks like when it's all dry. You could put lace on these. You could put a little fabric on them. I mean, you really can decorate them however you want. All right, not completely dry, but dry enough that we'll get the, there we go. And so we've got some shimmery, seam shimmer. We've got some shimmery splatters. I could come along also and put a little bit of, oh, my gold splatter. My gold paints are put away. Wait a minute. Maybe this is them. There they are. Let's put a little bit of gold on here too. How about that? Let's do a little bit of gold. I'm liking this. Now, when I put that heat gun on it, it melted or heated it, made the glue sticky again, and so it's not sticking down in all the places, but I'll go back around and come on. I want some up in that corner. Okay. Oh yes, I like that a lot. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. A little bit more than I wanted, but that's okay. All right. So there we go. I love it. It's got, rinse my brush out here so it doesn't get all stiff. I don't have a cup of water out here, so there we go. That's pretty much, and then what I'm going to do is take some paper and I'll mop that up. So I can't quite close this yet because, but look at that. Look at all those splatters on there. Susan Gazaway would be so proud of me. She is the queen of splatters. All right. So then I turn this over on this side. I don't know. Do we need some gold splatters on this side too? I don't think so. Here is this. Isn't that cute? With the little splatters, and then it opens up. It's a little crispy right now, and I do need to go back in and glue down some of this where I put the heat gun on it. Look at that. Isn't that just adorable? And then it's going to get some seam binding. I think this is a good color for it. I just wrap it around a couple times. You can go 3, 4, whatever you would like. And I do take the seam binding underneath so it holds it all together. And just tie a bow in it. There we go. And there we go. Oops. A little extra string here. All right. Isn't that just adorable? You could put words on this side if you wanted to. Can do whatever you want there. Decorate it however you want. If you want more on these pages, you can. And there's the inside. Now, like I said, I'm not putting tags in these, but you get the idea that you can put tags in there. So that's it. That is the, let me see what she called it again, because it was a long name. It was the Flip Out Pocket Tag Booklet. And it's really not very bulky. And if you put thin tags in it, it won't add a whole bunch of bulk to your journal. All right, everybody, that's it. I'm going to go clean this up with some paper. I'm going to just run some paper through it and get all that fun gold on it. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already and you liked the video. That would be most appreciated. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.